May surprise a lot of people. There are more home truths where that came from, and sometimes, let's be honest, the truth can hurt. Nothing was off limits in this interview. No tough questions were pulled. Ronaldo answers them all with a brutal honesty, very seldom seen from a star of his renown. Days before the Football World Cup, football's biggest ever star has rocked the sporting world. We're running it. They're talking about it. You can see the entire interview
To Piers Morgan.
Just breaking in England, an exclusive interview between Piers Morgan and Cristiano Ronaldo.
He's done this huge, high-profile interview. It's now gone outside of football media, outside of sports media, and now is in mainstream news reports.
Cristiano Ronaldo, who has said he is being betrayed by his club. The 37-year-old's comments were made during an interview with Piers Morgan for TalkTV.
Ronaldo releases the intro to an interview he has with Piers Morgan. You got on there on Twitter and you tweeted, "Ronaldo, I don't respect the manager."
Ronaldo, who missed today because of illness, but has also done an interview with Piers Morgan.
Well, Cristiano Ronaldo has accused Manchester United of betraying him in an interview.
There has been a huge reaction to this interview before it's even gone to air.
It's one of the most explosive interviews, certainly, that I've ever done. Tens of millions of people have already viewed the two short clips we released last night, and there are more fireworks coming later this evening. Because when Ronaldo speaks, people listen. He's not just, in my view, the greatest footballer of all time. He's a global megastar. He's, of course, highly paid too. And he's extremely commercially viable to any club. Sales of his shirts at Manchester United broke all records within 24 hours of him going back. And after a year in which many people, including some of his ex-teammates, have blamed him for the decline at Manchester United, he simply decided he'd had enough. They're trying to force you out.
Yes, not only the coach, but the other 2 or 3 guys there around the club.
At the senior executive level?
Yes, that I felt betrayed.
And you think they're trying to get rid of you?
Honestly, I shouldn't say that, I don't know, but listen, I don't care, people should listen the truth. Yes, I feel betrayed, and I felt that some people that don't want me here, not only this year, but last year too.
Well, already the interview's deeply divided opinion amongst fans and wider football supporters. The club has released a statement today saying it will consider its response when the full facts have been established, which I take to mean after they watched the whole interview. But Ronaldo makes clear throughout our conversation that he has the utmost respect for Manchester United's history as a club and for its supporters. He's as frustrated about the stagnation of the once biggest football team in the world as they are. That's why he's speaking out, because as he sees it, the club hasn't moved forward at all since he left 13 years ago.
I don't know what's going on, but since the Sir Alex Ferguson left, I saw not evolution in the club. The progress was zero. For example, you have an interesting point that how the club as Manchester United, after Ole, they bring sport directive Ralph Rangnick, which is something that nobody understands. This guy is not even a coach. A bigger club like Manchester United bring sport directive, surprised not only me, but all the world. You know, nothing changed. Surprisingly, not only the pool, the jacuzzi, even the gym. Even some points, the technology, the kitchen, the chefs, which is I appreciate, lovely persons. They stop in a time which is it surprised me a lot. I thought I will see different things, as I mentioned before, technology, infrastructure. But unfortunately, we see many things that I'm used to see when I was 20, 21, 23. So surprised me a lot.
May surprise a lot of people. There are more home truths where that came from. And sometimes, let's be honest, the truth can hurt. Nothing was off limits in this interview. No tough questions were pulled. Ronaldo answers them all with a brutal honesty, very seldom seen from a star of his renown. A lot's already been written and said about this interview, just based on the small amount we've already revealed. A lot of it, I have to say, is ill-informed bile. A lot of it is just plain fake news. The only way you'll find out what Ronaldo really says is by watching the whole interview here on Wednesday and Thursday. And I think he'll change a lot of people's minds when they do.
It's something that I regret to left from the stadium, probably, or maybe no, I don't know. It's difficult to tell you 100% but let's say I regret. But in the same way, I felt provoked by the coach. I'm not allowed for me, a coach, to put me in 3 minutes in a game. Sorry, I'm not that kind of player. I know what I can give to the teams.
You're talking about the Tottenham thing?
The Tottenham
Yeah,
player.
I'm talking about in pre-season, there was a friendly where you left the ground with several other
Me
players.
and 8 players.
Right, so...
But they mention only my name.
Yeah.
Which is everyone do that. I don't understand why they mention only about high value kind of game. Last year, many players do it the same. In that game, 8 players do it the same. So, but they only speak about the black sheep, which is me, I completely understand. Okay, it's done. I apologize to the coach, and for me, the chapter was closed.
You don't have a good relationship with him?
I'm not mean good relationship. The empathy is not good, let's say.
Do you think he respects you?
I think he don't respect the way I should deserve. But it is what it is. This is why probably the game against Tottenham I left.
Well, I want to come to these 2 games. So against Manchester City, where United got destroyed, he didn't bring you on. He brought on other strikers, but didn't bring you on. And I felt insulted on your behalf. I was like, well, surely against Manchester City, if you're losing this badly and you've got the greatest player of all time sitting there, you at least give him some time, don't you? But he didn't. And he said afterwards the reason was he had too much respect for you. He wanted to respect you. When you heard him say that, what did you think?
Excuses. I see as excuses. I say many things that I don't wanna criticize him. He can have different opinion than me, that they choose the players that I think is better for the team. I respect that. But the excuses all the time, the excuses have short legs. You cannot excuse all the time, which is things that don't make sense. Okay, you don't put me against Manchester City because of respect of your career, and you want to put me 3 minutes against Tottenham.
Well, that's the thing. So then you then play Tottenham.
Don't make sense.
And then he wants to bring you on with 3 minutes to go, which is the complete opposite to what he said the situation was with City.
I think he did purpose, because, for example, in the national team, the other clubs, if the coach wants to put me 5 minutes, if someone injured or if they really need me, I will help. But in that way, I felt provoked. Not only because of that game, but before some.
He was deliberately provoking you.
Well, everyone know that.
Disrespecting you, you think?
Exactly. This is why I say I don't have respect for him, because he don't show me respect for me. This is why we are in that situation.
They show a lack of ambition to you when they replaced Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who a lot of fans liked, but he obviously wasn't delivering the big titles that United wanted and were used to. But to appoint someone like Ralf Rangnick, I mean, I'd never heard of him. And I'm thinking if had you heard of him?
No, of course not.
You'd never heard of this guy?
Nobody. And the people who I speak, nobody knew it, who was him.
And suddenly did you call him the boss?
Of course. I respect. We have to call because he assumed the job. Regardless, all the coaches that I had in my career, I call them boss, because if they assume the job, we have to call in that way. But in the end, deep inside me, I never saw him as a boss, because I saw some points that I never agreed, and he stopped in the time as well. Because if you're not being a coach, the next 5 years, you're gonna lost the identity to be a coach. So surprised me a lot. But in the same way, don't surprise me a lot, because if you see the structures, they keep it the same. So the coaches didn't surprise me, but it was a tough moment.
You're number one for me.
Thank you.
He's number two. You're number one to you. He's number two. But it's an amazing relationship you have, even though you're not, I know, great friends or anything, but you're always respectful when you see each other.
Very, all the time.
But what do you think of him, Messi, now? As you both head to maybe your last World Cup?
As a football player?
Yeah, and as a person.
Amazing. Player is magic, top. As a person, we share the stage 16 years. Imagine, 16 years
At the highest level.
we share. So I have great relationship with him. I'm not friend of him in terms of, when I mean friend is the guy who is with you in your house, who speak on the phone. No, but he's like a teammate. He's a guy that I really respect the way he always speak about me. Even his wife or my wife, my girlfriend, they always respect. They are from Argentina. My girlfriend is from Argentina.
Yeah.
So good. What I'm going to say about Messi? Great things. He's a good guy. You do everything for football.
The best player you've ever seen, excluding yourself?
Probably, yes. Him, Zidane, probably. Yes. That I play, fight with him, yes.
Have you ever had dinner together?
Never.
Would you like to?
Why not?
You lost your baby son and now your baby daughter's in hospital.
Exactly.
And you must have been absolutely
I
beside
spoke with the
yourself.
directive and the president of Manchester United, and then kind of that didn't believe that something going wrong, which is make me feel bad.
Really?
Yes.
They didn't believe you.
They believe it, but in the same way they are there. I never is ever gonna change the health of my family for the football. Never. Now or 10 years behind or forward, and it's something that really hurt me because they doubt of my words that I struggle, especially Bella and Gio. We had 1 week in hospital because the Bella have a big problem. And I didn't go to the pre-seasons because of that, because I didn't was allowed to left my family if something happened to do it the pre-season, because I think it wasn't not fair to left my family for a pre-season. This is why I didn't go.